Hi everyone, thank you guys for joining me today. We're taking a look at this canal system which has started to run backwards, and that's a sign to me that I need to really kind of get a move on with some of this stuff. These painted crystal gateway artifacts are only going to survive if they're buried, and once this water's so gross, but once they're all washed away, the paint gets washed away, you won't be able to tell it's a bird anymore with the paint on it and stuff. So you can see on this gateway example, we have, the one that's looking right at us just freaked me out. I'm starting to see really well. Of course, you can see how the eye, the nose, and the mouth is done in the yellow facing to the left, with the black being the hair. And the hairline for the top being about right here. You can see how it's separated. And if you look at the texture of the hair, you can see how it's all wobbly, with the face just being right here. Perhaps the chin is right here. Go zoom in a little bit. So we have a bunch of gateways to get, is what I'm trying to say, folks. And so we're going to go ahead and grab as many as we can today. I like the way the eye carving comes out really well for this. That's just the one that's above. There's also a smaller one below for more defined silhouettes here. Really pretty one. High level. These gateway styles are high level, but oftentimes they have these paintings on the outside, which make it very easy to make out what they are. So we'll go ahead and put this one in our bag, and we have a few to look at together today down this creek. Because like I said, the water is starting to go the opposite way, and when that happens, all the chemicals and things are going to be washing into this and creating all the green rocks, taking all the paint off of all this. And I've already seen it happen. So using the same black hair that we were talking about with the yellow section, just make out a silhouette here with the nose and the mouth and the eye carving right here. And you can see the way that there is that black spot that's actually in there. A lot of times it's a fired in clay pack. And we can take a brief look at this one, but I have a few other ones in mind here. These crystal ones are most definitely more higher level. You can see how the sockets in the mouth, socket and mouth here, the stripe coming across the person's eye, how this is the chin to the left, and the nose is done, of course, right here. Now, there's going to be a few other ones in there too, so you may be seeing a different one, a larger one, smaller one. You might be just looking in the black section here. This white section actually turns into a bird head as well. You can see the head and the wing of the bird right here. If we point it like this, you can see how there's a bird represented just in the yellow section. And I'm looking at the whole black section now for maybe a silhouette. There's a small one on the top here, you can see. Hopefully you guys can see this stuff. It's starting to pop out for me on the camera a lot easier, but we're also, looking at the interiors of the stone here. You can see how there's perhaps one bird with its crest, and then you see the beak of another bird right here with its crest. You see how they're both separated. It's going to be birds stacked on birds in different directions, left and right, upside down, right side up. These were like the TVs of ancient times, as you guys know. And I want to keep an eye out for some of the, usually there's one hominid that's looking right at us. And I found a pretty fantastic one the other day. There's the eye, the nose, and the mouth of the painting. You can see the way the jaw line is done for the face that's, of course, looking to the left. This is a beautiful one. Turned out to be a really different and nice one. Very cool. Here we have one that looks like it has some green paint on it. And so this is the color of all these gateway examples, and you can see how this side is painted black. Probably the human, and of course it is. There's different carvings for different eyes, but since it's wet, you might be able to see just on the end of the stone in black is a silhouette of a human being facing to the left. There's also a big hole there, so watch when we tilt it. We'll have to move it around a little bit and flip it upside down in different ways, but The preservation of these is important. Here we can see the character with his painted black eye, the nose and the lips just sticking out right here. And of course the head separated. He's wearing a big headdress. Hopefully you guys can see him well. Just a character painted on a stone here. But the preservation of these is very important here. Otherwise, if they all get stained and broken, not broken necessarily, but if they all get, look at that carving for the eye on the top left there, see the corner? I love the green. The green paint is rare on these crystal artifacts. I've gotten some pushback on that. People say there's no such thing as green paint. Well, here it is on a crystal, and you can see the way that when you tilt it, how that green paint creates a full image. And we'll be able to use the paint in a lot of different ways. You can see how it, just looking at it, you know, just like it's just a big head statue with its mohawk on the very top. You can see how there's a line in the stone separating the hair. Let's see if we can make a face out of that perhaps. I'm sure there's one in there. I think it's to the right here like this, because I think that section right there is the eye. But I wish it did just look like one thing for you guys. And as you know, that's impossible for this. They couldn't afford to make a statue that just looked like one thing. And so they made this complicated, you know, art that you put this first image of a larger character, perhaps. You can see how the way the eye is done here. And maybe there's an eye in here. Looking at this is the nose. Taking, you know, forgetting about this spot for a second. Taking into account different sections of the stone at different times. You can see how, just looking at the front, this is a very large carving for an eye. Of the silhouette here. And then just looking down below, you see how there are more. And there's just little ones down here at the bottom. And then as we tilt it away here, you can see the way the shade is done for the eye. That's all intentional. Now you might be seeing the large inclusion, the carving for the eye, but of course you can see the nose with even the nostril loop. Forget about this part of the stone. I like to put my finger over the mouth. This is just say, shh, don't tell anybody. But my finger is over the lips. And this is, of course, the nose and the eyes right here for the image that I'm seeing. You might even see a larger one with a larger eye, this circle here. And then what's important to note is that the whole top, as weird and blobbly, you know, as weird and, I'll show you how these turn into the same things, just silhouettes on silhouettes on top of more silhouettes. You guys can see these noses poking out. Now, the whole thing is going to be a bird head with this beak, so let's just cover up the bird head for now so we can see all the faces in different directions. So you can see the beautiful carving for the eye there and the way that the crystal is done for it. It's really cool. And changing the distances really does help with this stuff. All right, let's go ahead and give it a flip. Before we go, I guess we can take a look at the bird. So it's hard to see the carvings, I guess, a little bit on camera, but there's a few birds. There's one pointing downward here. So we can see this is the beak, and then the crest is poking up. Just to show you there. And just even the smallest little birds as well. So here we have again, this is the nose poking out. And as we tilt this, we'll be able to see silhouette on silhouette. See if we can get it right. Oh, we have the two sockets, the two identical sockets. And normally whenever you have that, you're able to pull the image out. There's a slot in the stone, as you guys can see, so I can hold this section to cover it up so that you can see the details for the outside here. But for the two eyes, I'm seeing these two right here. So we're seeing this round. I'm not understanding exactly what it is. And the other side has got a lot more color on it. We'll have to let it wash itself off a little bit. I don't mind getting my hand a little dirty. But you can see the sticky black opaque paint. Thanks for going deep with this one, guys. I know this isn't the most exciting, but kind of got to explore this stuff together. We can see the silhouette here in the mud. I wish it wasn't muddy. You can see the white eye done for it. Oh, there's another one above it. Look at that. In the mud. I need to get some water now. I don't know if that's going to help it. One there. And I saw another one in the white as well, it looked like. Very awesome piece. So we'll leave it up like this so that it gets washed off. There's our Anunnaki looking tall headdress, like a Sumerian headdress. See the cone right here? And then the beautiful eye, perfect eye. I'm getting a hand cramp. Look at the carvings into that diamond right there, guys. Actually, as we tilt it, and you can really see the micro carvings the way it's done. That line is in the stone coming out of the back of the eye. And then here, as we get closer, might as well, I mean, I got to show you guys the perfect silhouette here. You can see the way the chin's done. I wish I could get the eye just a little bit cleaner. You can see all the etchings. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Beautiful. So, can't go this way. As you guys can see, it's pretty nasty. So let's go ahead and take a look for some more gateways here. We'll take a look at a few just of the birdstones on the way too. But, oh, there's some cool stuff. I'm gonna show you how this is all cooked. It's all baked and fired. This is all a big fired shelf here. I wish I could get some action in there. A little bit of it. It's all charcoal. The whole thing's carbon datable. I'd love to find out. But I'll have to go out of the country to do the carbon dating. And that's okay. It's like $300 a pop. So it ain't cheap. So let's take a little walk down here if we can without getting too muddy. Oh, we're just gonna go for it here. I'm not worried about the mud. I'm worried about the oil that's stuck in the water. I don't know if you can see it, but see, these are these gateways, and we need to get these as much as we can because they're getting ruined. They are getting ruined. And they have these silhouettes. Do you see the left side portrait? There's a few of them, of course, but let's take a look up here. And into the stone here. We should be able to make out a left side, a few of them. See what I mean with the big hair? See the eye, the nose, and the mouth, and the round face separated? Let's feel some rain coming in. Some grandfathers, of course, on here. Look at those. Very cool ones. Well, that's a nice one to the left. Of course, you guys can see the eye, the nose right here, and the mouth. The face in white. Oh, it's got both eyes. Hey. Then it even has a right side profile too. That's a pretty side of the stone there. Very nice. Ooh. There's another gateway there. So as you guys know, the gateways are these crystals that all resemble big bird heads on the outside. And they're painted on one side. This one's gonna have an indentation of a bird head, like a cutout, it looks like. It's a pretty good hole in that. But if we put this up into the sun, you would see it's translucent. It's all a white crystal. And oh, it's really starting to come down now. Oh, it's disappointing. Well, as long as you guys don't mind getting wet, I'll be all right. Here we have on the bottom the skull, and then above the outside carving for the skull, that scared me, we have the painting in white with the right side profile. There's one on the left as well. Looking at the color, I hope this doesn't just look like a rock to you. I know to a lot of people it will. And to that, you guys just have to go out and check out your stones in your own creeks. Look at this on the left-hand side. There's a bunch of them, just little totem guys. You can see. This is pretty. So everybody knows about totem poles and things. They did the same kind of thing with the rocks. And in the different shadows here, you can see how they made these little silhouettes, and you can see all the little carvings on there. This is a piece of crystal, nice gateway piece. Maybe I'll put this in my bag as well. I'll grab this on the way out if I can. Put it shiny side up, so I might not forget it. Here's another gateway example. Like I said, the red, and oh, we already know what's on this. Look at this silhouette on the yellow to the left. With a bird head. Let's flip it upside down. See what we have. You see how there's little silhouettes painted in yellow right here? So we're looking at the mouth right there. Of course, the pointy nose, and then look where the eye should be. You can look at the left side one if you'd like to. There's two of them. There's one on this side with the nose and the eye with the mouth. And then on the right-hand side, you can see how the eye is done right here. The nose poking out like Pinocchio, and his mouth is probably in here somewhere with the chin, and the neck coming down. And then again, it's the same freaking, oh my gosh, it's the same statue color. It's the same painting that we went over 3 days ago. Sorry, I'm getting way too excited. I'm an adult. This is okay. But do you see how it is? I feel like it's almost the same exact painting. Oh my gosh. It does feel like it's very similar to the one that we just went over at the house. Anyway, I could just be seeing things because I don't see the right one as perfect. I see it's a weirdly shaped figure though. I don't know. Okay, so maybe just in the brown, if you look at it where the one eye's here, the other eye's here, and then the line for the mouth here, facing to the left with both eyes. Perhaps that's another one there too. You can see in the etchings, the crystal there. All right, well, we'll go ahead and keep this one too. There's gonna be a lot on that one that we're not seeing yet. And so I just wanna give us the opportunity to be able to see these before they're all messed up. They're already starting to get pretty messed up. So, this is a long video, guys. I hope you don't mind. At least it's kind of documenting and that's what a lot of this is about. If you watch my earlier videos, you can see how much how many less rocks there were in here and how the rock condition was so much better. I love the carving. So you guys can't see these eyes, but once you learn how to see the art, they jump right out at you. You also know where to look. You can see the pokey nose. You see how it's got the little carving and the line underneath it. And then look at where the eye is, right there in that hole. I'll zoom in. There we are. And you can see different eyes come out. You see the designs and the things for the eye here. How the little lines are coming down the middle of it. I'm just showing you the bottom, but the top has little lashes sticking out. You see the little lines? Now just try to look at that little sun shape first. And then underneath that, you see different, you know, it's all about a level of detail. It wants you to get used to the detail. Here on the left-hand side, we can see a little character here, tucked in version. And then above him, there's going to be another. Here we have a brown face, so you can see the color difference. It's not black, it's not the yellow, it's the brown. So you can see how the chin, the nose, and the dark black eye there with the hair that comes down to here, with the silhouette facing to the left, looking this direction. Above this is birds. These are the classic Carolina birds with the beak and the eye and the round head. See how the head is extremely round here, the whole carving? And how the tail is square and blocked and pointed upward. This is the classic Carolina heart-shaped bird head. And so these are the gateway examples here, with the eye, the nose, and the mouth, with the hair coming up, with the person here, if you can see that one. Of course, you can see on the very top here as well. Facing to the left, of course. All right. Cool one. Let's go ahead and stick that one up there too. Oh, don't fall all the way. I see where it's at. Here's a neat different gear of gateway. You can see this white crystal is a little bit different than the other gateways. But we have some of these in the lab as well, of course. Just looking at the very edges where the black meets the white. And in all these little nooks and crannies, you're able to make a little face with the person with the big, black hair poking up. That big old blob of mess, what looks to be disorganized and random, is high level, highly evolved stone art. And this is that classic Carolina heart-shaped bird that I was just talking about. It's kind of shaped like a little heart there, and it's birds in different ways. You can see how the carvings are done for this bird head and its wing. It has probably a couple birds on it, and then it's always going to be a bird head, just the full bird head as well somehow. All the little lines and things on that. Hey. Very cool. So here's a neat collection of the, see what I mean by these? Look at how they're getting all, so much slime on them. That slime's going to take off the paint. Oh well. So on the other side of this big crystal will be black. Well, I think I already looked at this one before. Now we do, if I don't get it too wet, we can see the colors. The brown, there might be a figure in it there. I just got it wet though, so we won't be able to see the bottom. Yeah, that little tablet's tough to see. There's a bunch more though, so let's take a look. Here's a big white gateway. And it's got a big imprint in it. What's all this? Is it facing to the right? Oh, okay. It's facing to the right. So now you can see how the mouth and the nose and the eye is done there for the first image, and then you can see the other one coming out here behind it. And look at all the paint on that. You can see how the silhouette's done right here, guys. Awesome. Little silhouettes all over this sucker. This is a really pretty one. I think we may have looked at it before. Look at these. Look at that. Oh my goodness. You guys see the nose and the eye and the chin right there with his puffy hat. He's got like a Russian hat on. Oh my goodness. Hello, Mr. Man. And then that hole inside of there is kind of working with it. So when we look at this one, we should be looking back here too to see perhaps another person. And then another one at the very end here. Look at the eye and the nose, and who knows? Who knows? Who knows? This one's really pretty though. Really like that one. So since we've seen that one, let's look at the top here. There's more. Try to find the direction that they're going in. Oh. Look at all the little ones. This one right here with the nose and the mouth and the eye. It's a little tough to see, but you can see these bird heads too. See the eye for the bird and the beak, and then how the big square crest comes up. There's also another chicken bird head here. See the circle? See how it's a V cut out? See the beak here? Wow. Super nice. There's going to be a bunch to the right as well, bottom right. Of course. God, we could sit on that one all day. Oh, each one of these. I mean, think about the people that had them and used them. Oh, look at this one too. Oh, yeah, yeah. Whew. This is another gateway here. Of course, we'll look at the black and the white separation. Try to look for the silhouettes. We can see the two eyes here. And even above it, oh gosh, you can notice on the right hand edge how there's the ripples for a headdress. So look at the eye, the nose, and the mouth of the character just right on the end here with the headdress sticking out. There's larger ones and smaller ones. You could look at that as the eye for something. You can see the face with the mouth right here. Looks like he might even have a cleft lip or something, or maybe he's sticking his tongue out. But the very large face with that is the mouth and the lips and then the nose, and your eye could be here. Let's tilt that to the right. Do you see, if you look closely into the paint, do you see how those right angles are here? Do you see how these 90 or 45 degree angles are in the paint there? Especially when you tilt it, it doesn't come out when you look at it flat on. It's not supposed to. So if you see those right angles, and you can see how the crack separation, that's separating a face facing to the right. Sorry, I'm trying to get our focus correct there. All right, we'll take this one with us too. If you look at the eye, the nose, and the open mouth here, make it smaller so you can see it. Bring it back down there. There's faces all over this. Do you see the two eyes, the way the two eyes are done? Do you see what's going on here? Wow. Hello. Hello. Hi there. How are you doing? Do you see this guy with his chin in his mouth? How's it going there, mister? Okay, we'll take this one too. 30 minutes. Those of you stuck with me for that long. All right, we're gonna go ahead and call it. I'm out of breath, and you're probably done watching. So stretch out, get some exercise, and I'll talk to you again very soon. Have a great one, and bye-bye.